We'll get started. Welcome, everyone. This is the session, the one that's mission critical for virtual experiences. I think all of us are experiencing that right now. We have Derrick Johnson joining us. He is the Director of Event Strategy and Development for the Tally Management Group. Derrick is a skilled association executive with over 15 years of driving global business development and creative strategy. We're very lucky to have him here live with us today. Please put your questions in the chat throughout, and we'll call on you as we go through the presentation today, and he will answer your questions in real time. As a transformational leader, he has coached and optimized the contributions of over 30 cross-functional teams and hundreds of people developing sustainable roadmaps for organizational growth. As a millennial with a passion for leveraging technology to navigate disruption, Derrick provides a solid yet unique perspective into the domain of change management and the future of associations. So without further ado, Derrick, I'll hand it over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And welcome, everyone. Thank you for spending your time with me here today. I want to make this as valuable to you and engaging for you as possible. So I'm going to ask you to do something very unconventional. I want you to make sure that you have your phones at the ready because throughout this presentation, this conversation even, I'm going to ask you to engage with me around a few things. No, but to begin, I just want to focus on kind of this first quote here. We live in a world of endless possibilities and infinite outcomes. So countless choices define our fates, obviously. And each choice, each moment is a ripple of time in the space of reality. Enough ripples and you can change the tide, for the future is never truly set. This is a quote from one of my favorite movies, X-Men Days of Future Past by Charles Xavier. And why do I bring this up? Well, again, hello everyone, my name is Derrick Johnson. I serve as Director of Event Strategy and Chief Diversity Officer for Tally Management Group. And this QR code here will direct you directly to our page with our senior leadership. And so you can stay in contact with me by facilitating and leveraging that. But at TMG, my role is to help our clients, our association partners, our nonprofit clients, our corporate entities create meaningful, impactful experiences through strategy development, consulting, and execution. When it comes to this quote here by Charles Xavier, I think about COVID-19 specifically and what it has done for our industry. And it's truly forced us to look at the products and services and initiatives of our organizations differently. For so long, virtual has been in the backseat of our organizations, passively in the design and the strategy element of what we do within the space of planning experiences. Now, because of COVID, because of a ripple in time, because of an experience, because of something that's interrupted the constant stream that we once were a part of, we're forced to now create differently. We're forced to look at things, look at the world in new and creative ways. And so I believe that the way that we as event professionals, as event producers, as experience producers move forward is through strategy, vision, adaptability, and success. Well, what do I mean by strategy? Well, for so long, we have been executing. We've been executing at a very high level, yet we've missed the most important element within the scale of event creation or experience creation. And that's relating the experiences back to the objectives, the key objectives of our organizations and those of the other experiences that we're creating, whether they're digital in nature or in person. And so when we think about strategy and tying that in to the objectives of our organizations, the key missions, what are we trying to ultimately achieve within the scale of existing as organizations? And how are the experiences that we are planning and executing delivering upon those objectives? That is what strategy is. And for so long, we've been missing that piece within the scale of the planning and production experience. Now it's time to bring that to the forefront and ensure that that is a primary source that's guiding each of us within the scale of experience creation. The next piece within the scale is vision. Vision. We need to have a clear idea of where we want to go, or we can't get there. We can see the present, we can see the past, but having a focused outlook on the key features of our organizations, again, as we start to develop this strategy, is so important and vital in the success of any organization or planning segment. Then we have adaptability. Adaptability is a feature, is a characteristic that all of us within our roles and responsibilities need, especially within the unknown times that we're currently facing. Who in this space right now knows when we will go back to in-person experiences? If you do, please type in the chat. Let me and everyone else know, because we are all wondering the exact same thing. But I'm just actually curious to know, if you just type in the chat, when do you all think that we will see in-person experiences come back to light? And so when we think about adaptability, fall 2021, definitely. That's what I think too. Who else? A year, a decade, summer 2021. Those are, I mean, these are all guesses, but we have to be flexible and creative to ensure that we are sustaining the organizations that we have been gifted to manage and create these experiences for. All of that then leads ultimately to our success in being able to truly measure the growth and opportunities within the experiences, relating back to those key goals and objectives of the organizations, and tying in to the full experience planning of the full portfolios of events that we have within the scale of our organizations. Each is a stepping stone towards a larger destination. And again, for so long, we've been so focused on executing at such a rich and high level. And sometimes that's not a bad thing. However, when we think of what we do and why we do it, just because something works does not mean that it can't be improved. And this is, again, a quote from the Black Panther from Shuri, but it's so thoughtful and important to understand. Just because we're planning and executing experiences in a way that's very thoughtful and articulate doesn't mean that there's not a strategy that can be brought in and enhanced upon the various layers of content creation, connecting the way that our speakers are delivering messages for a diverse audience, ensuring that when we are looking at the design of experiences, that we are focused not only on the missions of the organization, but how we can effectively impact change on a global scale within communities that are beyond the specific niche of our organizations. I've been using a few words throughout so far, this presentation interchangeably. And I want to bring some clear attention to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And this may be contradicting some of your beliefs, and I definitely would love to hear your thoughts, share your thoughts in the chat here. But I truly believe that we as an industry need to move away from using the word event and really focus in on planning experiences. Why? For me, events are very much a time, a place, a destination. They're they mean very stagnant and time-bound things, occurrences that aren't really, that are very inflexible. Experiences for me emote emotion and connection. And ultimately, at the very end of the day, that's what we're doing within the realm as business event strategists. We are planning these opportunities for individuals to connect, for individuals to learn and idea exchange underneath a plethora of opportunities to engage. And so when I look at the planning and execution and delivery cycle of the things that I want to do as a professional within this industry, I want to plan experiences. I want people to walk away with the emotions, with feelings of being able to express themselves and also share, and then take that knowledge and understanding back to their home locations and engage in conversations around unique and rich experiences that they had. The other two words that I want to bring focus towards are the event and the experience themselves, or I'm sorry, virtual and digital. So virtual is a term that some may use and say that it's very old school, if you will. Digital, it's very new and it's hip, it's up and coming. That's nice and all for the passive user. However, virtual is simply the idea of creating a world that doesn't exist within our physical world. It's the boundaries that we can push and create in an environment that is not something that we can touch, but we can see and we can engage with. Digital, however, is a tool that's used within the virtual environment. Within digital, we think of mobile, maybe, numbers, anything with screens. So within digital experiences, I'm able to then leverage this tool to plan and execute and produce virtual experiences. So I asked at the beginning for you to take out your phones, and now it's time to truly test out the waters here. If you would take out your mobile devices and open up your cameras and hover over this QR code here. Within this presentation, we have 3 of these engagement topics. And this first one is all around, do you believe all large-scale experiences should have a virtual component moving forward? Do you believe all large-scale experiences should have a virtual component moving forward? So if you'll just answer this question, if we have any questions that have popped up in the chat while folks are doing this, I'd be happy to address them.
We do have a question from Michelle. How do you recommend maintaining engagement post-event?
Yeah, so post-event is just as important and vital as the event itself. And so when we think of experiences, experiences, again, not time-bound, not location-bound, they're emotional driven. We think about 360 communities. So we want to look at creating these opportunities for individuals to engage continuously throughout the experience, whether it be before, during, or after. So these 365 communities that individuals can create these relationships with and build on their knowledge and expertise and engagement. That's how we continue these connections within the scale of experience creation. And so I'm going to jump over here and just quickly share the results here. I believe most of you can see this on your phones already, but within the realm of doing these presentations, I've been asking a lot of folks around the industry what they think. The majority of everyone says yes, that all large-scale events should have some virtual component tied to it. I truly believe that in the future, we will not have any event whatsoever without some aspect of virtual tied to it. We'd be doing ourselves a very big disservice. And also, as we look at the opportunities within virtual, which we'll talk about momentarily, we'll see kind of the opportunities that lie within the space and understand why it's so important to then ensure that it's a part of all of our experience planning. So jumping back over here to this quote by Einstein, we can't solve problems using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. As you think of experiences that we create, and again, thinking of why we create them, ultimately, we're focused on, at the very end of the day, maybe some bottom line information for our organizations, where we have these key objectives. However, as event professionals, we need to now take a step back from just the core objectives that we can pinpoint within the scale of our organization and look at the broader impact that we have in truly enhancing communities and economic growth around the world within the scale of planning experiences. Our industry touches each and every industry underneath the sun. And the realm of impact that we have within what we do and how we execute is so important to truly understand and ensure that we are able to leverage. The tools that are used within virtual planning extend far beyond the basic tools that we are using right now. Yes, we have a lot of virtual conferences. We have a lot of webinars. We have webcasts. We have podcasts. But virtual reality, augmented reality, those are things we haven't even tapped into using yet. Virtual reality, for example, the opportunity to take a simulation and put yourself in someone else's shoes. We think about the marginalized communities or the injustice within the systemic injustices within our societies. But being able to take a person and put them in the shoes of someone else, see the world through a different perspective, that's what virtual reality is capable of doing. Adding a dimension, a 3D dimension on top of our current world, that's what augmented reality is capable of doing. We're able to create different universes. We're able to put people into different experiences. And what happens when you're able to create different experiences? People then learn. And when people learn, then they feel, then they connect. And by connecting, that's when we get change. And ultimately, when we think of the concerns in our world right now, there's a lot of change that we need to happen within understanding different perspectives and also just growth in society. So as we think of the various tools that can be used within virtual, it's important to look through the entire toolbox and take out the things that are directly applicable to the objectives of the organization. Now, the second question here is what excites you most about virtual experiences? And for me, it's just the opportunity. I'm going to pull up the screen here so we can see as people are typing in. So reach, diverse opportunity. These are some things that individuals have said so far. But look at the scale of all of the experiences that we're able to provide within the realm of virtual. They're endless. And so I'm going to jump over back to my presentation here and talk through the benefits of virtual experiences. Sustainability, diversification, customization, and monetization, all keys within the virtual space, and all important. I like to say within the scale of virtual, we are able to change the world and save the planet. In the realm of what we're doing in planning experiences and cultivating these rich environments of learning and education and idea exchange, we're saving our carbon footprints. We're ultimately helping global warming. Diversification, we're able to reach communities that may not have the opportunities to participate in the scale of our experiences normally because of where they're located, because of financial resources, whatever it may be. We're able to connect individuals across the world. Each organization instantly becomes global within a virtual experience. Customization, we're able to directly correlate the needs of the participants with the expectations and ROI of exhibitors and sponsors. And then the level of monetization and being able to increase the revenue for your organization. The opportunities are pretty much endless within the realm of virtual experiences. And so this final question here is all around the innovative ideas that you have for engaging your virtual audiences. And some of the unique thoughts that have come out of this topic here are engaging the destinations within the space. When we think about virtual experiences and where we currently are, we see a lot of focus from the planners. But what about the destinations that currently have the opportunities to bring their destinations to participants virtually? What happens when we plan virtual conferences and our attendees then are able to go to a destination virtually and not just participate in the actual activities within the realm of our virtual conference center, but then step outside of that environment and take tours of the destination, virtual tours of the destination, and touring and shopping through local vendors and shops and engage with locals around the culture and the various aspects that bring them joy about those destinations and those locations, highlighting those key landmarks within the scale of our experiences. We haven't even touched that layer of bringing experiences to our attendees yet. Currently, we're still in the development standpoint and just trying to, again, execute. But when we look at the entire strategy and truly bringing virtual to a level of experience creations and what it means to step outside of our meetings and events and experiences and really have a sense of culture and create a sense of unity and opportunity in uplifting communities beyond our own, that's truly where we are able to bring, again, our destination partners in play and have them a part of the experience design. the biggest piece about the attendee experience, again, is all about the engagement aspect and how we're bringing our attendees within the realm of our experience creation. Within this presentation alone, we've had, I've asked your questions to put in the chat. I put up some QR codes to have you really share your thoughts and opinions and see what others are thinking too. There are so many ways of bringing the attendee into the experiences that we need to be creative, be flexible, be mindful of these various opportunities. And ultimately, at the very end of the day, going outside is highly overrated. Very funny quote from Ready Player One, but when you really truly think about it, the opportunities that we have in planning virtual experiences help truly uplift our communities and move us beyond just the realm of what we thought we were capable of and just simply executing events as a whole. So to take away anything, if you take away anything from this presentation, just understand that we as an industry need to evolve ourselves, need to evolve our perspectives and our mindset around the impact that we have within the realm of experience creation, and that we can impact social and economic change within communities on a global scale. So thank you very much for participating in today's conversation. If you want to stay in touch, please feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn. My email address is there. And again, QR code at the bottom is the same as the one here, directs you to our staff page at Tally Management Group.
Thanks, Derrick. That was a great presentation. Pretty much right on time. We only have a couple minutes left. So unless there's any last minute questions, I'm going to give it a minute here, but I'm going to hit the pause button and stop recording.
Awesome.